Hi guys, welcome back to Paracord Planet. Today we're making a Paracord watch band. This is something that we've covered in the past on our website in photo tutorial form, but we're doing it a little bit differently this time. We're going to be making it for an Apple Watch. I've got the Apple Watch connectors right here that we sell in our store, so you can check those out. And then in the past we made it out of 550 paracord, and that just ends up being a little bit bulky to wear on your wrist, and it doesn't quite fit through our buckle that we're going to be using today. So 425 is just going to make that work better all around. But if you want to do 550, if that's what you have lying around, it's still definitely going to work, and it's still a very comfortable watch band to wear. I'm using the trilobite weave for this tutorial. And trilobite weaves generally work better with a jig, but because we're using the Apple Watch connectors, a jig isn't really going to be able to connect onto our weave. So what I've gone ahead and done is just gotten a piece of wood, put some nails in it to hold things in place. So that should just be able to hold onto our weave in a better way than a jig would. That's about it for materials, so let's dive in. So for this project, you're going to need about 20 feet of paracord, and that'll be in two separate sections because it's an Apple Watch. So we'll be having one piece on each side. So I'm starting with a 10-foot section. If you want to conserve cord, you can just use one 20-foot section and then cut off your extra afterwards. But I'm just going to go ahead with this 10-foot piece. So start by threading it through the Apple Watch connector. It's a pretty small gap there, but you can go ahead and usually get an end through easier than you can get the middle through. Took a little bit of wiggling, but I did get it through. If it doesn't work, and if you're using 550, you're probably going to need to take the included screwdriver that comes with these connectors and take out these tiny little screws and put your cord through first and then put it back on. So I'm going to start by making a cow hitch, and that is going to have this side up. Cow hitch is made by sticking it down through the top, wrap your free side over the top, and then back up through the bottom, and then down through your loop. I'm sure you've seen what it looks like when it's pulled tight. It's just going to look like that. All right, got that cinched down. My two ends are even. So now I'm going to go ahead and thread the other end of the cord onto our watch buckle. How this watch buckle works is the tongue, other end of your cord is going to come through here, and then this is just kind of a built-in retention strap on the buckle. So we're actually going to be attaching our cord to this middle post. So I'm going to be doing the left side cord here first to make sure that they don't get tangled. That's going to come down and attach to this middle post here, over the top of that middle post, around to the right side, over the top, and then down under that post, and bring it back through the middle there. So again, that's what it's going to look like, just like your top one, but off to that side. We'll get that down to the right length, but let's get the other side on first. So you just want to make sure that you're attaching to the middle post and that this retention bar right here is going to end up on top of your watch band when we're done. So now let's cinch those down to size. I'm going to throw it on my homemade jig here, like that, and adjust these down. So when you're deciding the length for this, mine is already set for what I want it to be for my wrist, but just remember that it's going to be from one side of your Apple Watch down to the bottom of your palm, or the bottom of your wrist, excuse me. So only about a quarter of the way around your entire wrist. You're just going to want to size it up on your own wrist. I can't really give you a measurement because everybody's wrist is different, and everybody likes to wear their watch a little bit different. All right, so now I'm going to take the top part of that off the jig for a moment as we get the cord through the top watch connector one more time. All right, so on the right side, we're going to be putting it up through the bottom. There we go. And we're going to be doing that twice. So pull the cord through to the same length as your other ones. And just to fill up that bar, we're going to be putting it through one more time. like that. And then on this other side, we're actually going to be doing the opposite. We're going to go down through the top. And that's just going to give a nicer look to our weave when we get that going. All right, so now that we're all set up, it's time to start the weave. This is just an ordinary trilobite. So if you've done that before, this is going to be just the same. On this side here that we are coming out on the top, we're going to start by going underneath the first cord. So how the trilobite works is you go under one, over the two middle, under the last one. And then with the other side, you do the opposite. We're coming out the bottom here, so I'm going to go over that first cord, underneath those middle two, and while we're going underneath those middle two, we also want to go underneath this cord down to the bottom side here, so that when we come up over the last cord, it's below, so that we get this X pattern right here. So go ahead and pull those tight and push them up against the top here like this. You want your core strands to stay straight and these weave strands to go up and down over the top of your core strands. Cinch those down good and tight. And then as you weave, you're going to want to keep on pulling your weave up towards the top to make it look nice and even. So I'm going to keep on doing that, and I will catch you at the very end when this section is completed. So as I was making this, I didn't have an Apple Watch in front of me, and I didn't double check to make sure that I had the right side up. So make sure you have the 3 black dots on top and not the silver dot. The silver dot goes on bottom. So if you need to at this point, you can use a FID. I'm just going to keep on struggling here. But because this is the top, I want to end each of my cords on the bottom. So you can do this however you want, but I'm just going to tuck this left side cord to the bottom and cut it off there. And then this side, I'm going to do actually all the way around up through that middle gap, and then bring that down through the right side right there. So then I'll just flip it over to the bottom, cut off those ends, and flatten it against the weave so that the cord doesn't pull through. Okay, so that's half of it done. The second half is actually easier because we don't have to attach it to this buckle. This buckle is a little bit hard to work with going around here. So the second half of it you set up just the same way. I've got it already started here. Like in this watch band here, we don't have anything on this end, so I'm just leaving 2 loops. So we've got our 4 center cords again, and then we'll just finish that off when we get to it. But I'm going to weave this and show you how to do the end. All right, so there's not a whole lot to finish off here once you get to the end. As soon as you can't get any more cord through your loops, just shift down your weave so that it can cover it up. Mine didn't turn out quite even. I should have measured those more carefully so that they both ended up the same length, but overall it's not too bad. So I'm going to clip those ends and flatten those as well. All right, so now it's time to attach it to your watch. So there we have it attached. Let's try it on for size. Because this is woven, you can just kind of poke the buckle right through. That way it fits you no matter what your wrist size is. You don't have to rely on holes. Slip your cord through there, and we're done. So like I said earlier on, if you want to do 550, that also works. It just ends up being a little bit more bulky. As you can see, this one's a little bit more like a standard watch band. You can find links to the supplies used in this video down in the description. That includes the cord, the buckle, and those Apple Watch connectors. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, and even hit that notification bell if you never want to miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.